Today, we're going to be talking about something that's pretty hot right now. We're going to be diving into the world of MLOps.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
specifically,
a good one.
we're going to be looking at professional certifications
Yeah.
in this field.
Nice.
Yeah.
MLOps is,
If you're out there and you're thinking about maybe getting a certification in this space,
yeah.
this is the episode for you because we're going to be talking all about what it could mean for your career.
So today I'm going to install and configure the Kubeflow. So let me show you the demo for this. Okay, so this machine you have free -h, approx 8 GB RAM and 2 CPU. So that's one of the minimum configurations. Recommended minimum configuration is a little bit higher, but that is something which you can do for demo. So now if you look at this, how can we deploy Kubeflow? So if you remember the
Okay.
previous discussion,
Hmm.
you have so many components in Kubeflow and
I
like a
see.
notepad, yeah, notepad, Katib, model registry, pipeline, KFServe. This is from the Knative. Many components. So all these component, if you want to deploy in the Kubernetes, you have the source code given at GitHub. You can deploy these as well. But again, if you deploy separately, there's you'll have to integrate and all kind of things. So usually what we do, we deploy the whole platform together at one place. So now why these separate components are there? So what happens in the enterprises when we have thousands and thousands of developers and they want to create a centralized locations for all the components. So I mean a decentralized location for all the components. Then they typically installed it and then they integrate it. But for the small and medium organizations, everything should be in one package. So that is good to go ahead. Now, so this is the platform installations. Now, if you look at this here, I'm going to install the platform so that way all the component you will get installed in one go. Now, if you look at this here, the version which is 1.8.0, the latest version. So somewhere here, yeah, 1.9 now. So 1.9 is latest version, and the last version which was 1.8. So that is one. Now, if you look at this here, you can install the Kubeflow in almost all the environment. Here we have the vSphere, OpenShift, some more platform like Azure, IBM, Google, and Amazon. But for these clusters, it required little bit cost and then same time lots of infrastructure time required to set up. Like first you have to configure the EKS and then followed by Kubeflow. So which one I'm deploying? So I'm deploying this one. This will be deploying 1.8.0 and this is the lightest version which you would like to install it just to learning purpose. And if you want to go for the production and all, this is good. This is good. So let's this is one of the utility which is called deploy KF, which has been developed by community, and here it is. So this is the see, any method which you go for it, ultimately you get a same software. The methods are different. So now this is the deploy kf.org, and which will help you to deploy the ML platform. Now if you go and get started here, here you have some about a local quick start and some migrations and stuff like that. So I'll go for directly installations, so which is here somewhere. Now a deploy KF you can install in the EKS also, AKS also, GKE also, IBM again, and self-hosted, and edge and local machines also. So right now I'll go for K3D, which is like a kind of local machine installation that will consume little less, uh, infrastructures and all stuff like that. Okay, so I click on the local quick start. This is just for the learning purpose, but to deploy as I showed you so many places actually. So I'll go for the local quick start, and now if you look at the minimum requirements, it's a 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM and 64 GB storage. Right now I have a 2 core and 8 GB RAM. So that is fine for installation because I'm just showing the demo. I'm not going to do the heavy uses and all kind of things. Okay, so you can install this through Mac and Linux and Windows. Now you must be wondering how can we do that. So you know what, this is supported by K3D somewhere here. Yeah, now K3D is a one of the lightest version of K3S. K3S is from the Rancher. Yes, here it is. This is for K3S. So this is the one of the lightest version of a way to install the Kubernetes, certified Kubernetes, and this was from the uh, Rancher. It got released, it's become open source. And K3D is again more lightest version. It's for the Docker. I mean, you can install the Kubernetes clusters, all the component in Docker. D for Docker. Okay. So ultimately, we have to install the Kubeflow in the Kubernetes cluster, and Kubernetes clusters can be installed in Docker containers also. So that's not a problem. So that's the reason you can install anywhere. So I'll go with a Linux because this machine I got it for this demo only. So everything is okay for you right now? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Sorry for
Okay.
that. Yes.
So yeah. So let me install the Docker engine first. Here you have a install guide for this, and you can follow these documents for this one. Whichever Docker engine you want to install it, you can go for it. So I am going for installing the Docker. So now if I see that this is being installed Docker desktop, which I don't need it actually. So I am thinking, what should I do? So because this will take little bit more time. So what I'm going to do, I am going to uh, get for Docker installation Ubuntu and my notes. So this will help me to save my time little bit. So let me do that. Seems here you have a Docker install. I will make sure that um, there's no issues as such. Rerunning this command, and finally this command will install the component. Now it is being installed Docker. engine. So that
Okay.
that that website which was taking me to Docker desktop, and this will ultimately you get the Docker engine also, but I don't need this one because just a waste of time. So now if I do Docker info, I got this. So here we have the Docker install. So this is the one is done. Now some of the utilities you have to download. For example, Q, K3D, and QCTL. And the installations guide is next to you, so you can download. So now if you see that through curl, you can download. So depends on what you like. It's up to you which one you like. So I'm
Okay.
okay with that.
For this also, minimum base requirement is 8 GB memory we require, right? Everything to set up everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Argo CD also got installed,
Mm-hmm.
and JQ. JQ basically JSON queries, one of the utilities. So if you are in Ubuntu, you can run this command, the one which I'm running, and should be installed. Now K3D is one of the utility. Using that you can set up a clusters in container, Docker container. So let me install it. So uh, this is the wget curl. I'm okay with it. Anything. So enter. This is a web installer, and this should install it. Yeah. So curl -s and colon bash. Now if I type K3D, it's working. So this is also installed. Now kubectl, I think you must be very comfortable with it. So let me install it through quickest way. This is the one that seems to be, and kubectl is done. And okay, it's downloaded, but I need to push to C mode. The command must be there on the page, but I don't need it, so I'm just
Okay.
doing it. kubectl and user local bin, I'm pushing it. Okay, what happened? kubectl, it moved to this one. Why? Okay, I have to, I made some mistake. Let me correct it. kubectl, kubectl, done. Okay, so this is the one, and these commands you have it somewhere here, so you can check it out. Okay, so more or less we installed all the utility, and good to go. Step 2. Now step 3, we will have to set up some limits in the system, and
Okay.
this will be set up here. This is good. You may need to increase your system for file limits. So I'm opening this file. There is one command for it, but I don't want to go and look for the command. So bi and end of that file, and copy this line and followed by this line, and save it and exit it. Now this need to be run to reload the configuration, and it's done. So all the steps is completed. Now I'm going to prepare a Kubernetes clusters. This might take few minutes, but we'll have to have a clusters ready. Now if you look at this here, this command will create a Kubernetes clusters, and also same time it will configure the kubectl also. Okay, and this is the image which I set rancher, right? These all created by rancher. So let me run this command, copy and paste. So this command it will do everything and starting and configuring the clusters. Fastest way to get it up and running. So far so good. Okay, so done. Now if I run kubectl get nodes, see it's ready. So my clusters got deployed because I did in the AWS, it was faster. If you do in your laptop, little bit slow. Now if I want to see that if all of my pods is working or not, so you can see that uh, most of the things is done, but takes two containers still, I mean two pods are still running. It might take few seconds more. Done. So yeah, you can match this whole things and done. Now there is one more utility which is K9s, which is to try it the. So K9s basically is one of the easiest way to know the logs also. So there are a lot of utilities nowadays is coming, so you can ignore it for time being. So this is the step number 2. Everything is okay. Now we have to deploy the Argo CD. Let me tell you here, Argo CD is a kind of application using that you can do continuous deployment, and typically lots of data ops can be done. So here I'm just just running the command to verify the configuration, and type everything is done. Because if you have a multiple clusters, you need to make sure that if you're in right clusters or not. And after that, I am going to install this Argo CD. Now this is the fastest way to install the Argo CD. Here we'll install Argo CD and stuff like that. Okay, so let's clone this repo and permissions to the sh file, and then finally deploy the Argo CD. Now this might take few minutes, but it should be done. Now in order to install Argo CD, lots of resources been deployed, is been done. Now you have to wait for a few seconds and then check if Argo CD all the pods are running or not. Let me tell you, Argo CD, all of the components is deployed in the namespace Argo CD, so you have to check all their pods is running or not. So right now all this pod seems to be creating. It might take few more seconds to get it up and running. So almost done. I'm just checking and done. Okay, so everything is done, and this is created. Now, so once you have Argo CD installed, now you are going to deploy the application. Now, this application basically is nothing but the Kubeflow. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to create one file, something like this. So I just want to, if you want to customize it, you have to do that. So I am going to the notepad, and here now this one, see, you have to read about it. So this is the namespace. This is a comment. Okay. If you are adding some values, so you can remove this line. This is Istio, Cert Manager, Kubernetes part. There's another component, core, few more component like gateways, profile generated, and few more. So Katib is here, notebook is here. So basically why this option is there, if you want to deploy default one, you can leave it as it is. But if you want to customize something, you have to do that. So here, the only resources you manually create is this one. These resources generate all the other applications. Think single source of truth and all. So create a local file named this one. So vi and done. And just sorry, this one done. And then the content YAML below. So this will be copied. Now there is one values which you can override it. Is the sample hyphen values.yaml. If you look at this here, this file should be here, values file. So you can create this file if you want to do that. So you can do that. If it is not needed, you don't need to create it. But if you want to deploy, there's one repo. I need you to this one. So there's one file which is here, sample values. So more or less, it's already been taken care. So if you need it, you can do that. Right now, I don't think so it's needed. So here, I'll just read it if they have changed it. So this will use the and read the sample from this one repo and combine all this value override. So that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to deploy. So how can we deploy? This is the command line. So run this, enter. Now it has been created and just wait for a few seconds. If you are accessing through the Argo City through the UI, you can do this, run this command. If you remember, this is the port forward name Argo CD service, and this is the port number for Argo City UI HTTPS. So you can port forward and access in the localhost 8090. I cannot use this one because I'm running the VM, so 8090 will not work. So that way, but one, you can try IP address. Let me see if it's working. I doubt there's more on it. So IP address is here 8090. Let's see. It's binded with the local host, so that is the problem. What you can do,
Okay.
you no, I mean still you can work it, get it work.
Okay.
I will just see that if I can get it work or not. So what I can do, you have to add hyphen address 0.0.0. I want to access this on IP address from everywhere. So they will add hyphen address 0.0.0.0. So ChatGPT will save us time in this case. Nope, 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 nope. No, no. This is through load balancer not required, node port not node port, yeah, node port. It might work. Node ports here. Okay, so right now I'm not getting into that because what he's doing, this service they are changing to the cluster IP to node port, so that way it will be accessible. You can try this all offline techniques, or let me try. It might not take more. So done. qctl get svc hyphen hyphen all namespaces. Somewhere, yeah. Now where is the node port? So node port is here. The port number is 31502.317. Let me try. So 31502 and 31714. Okay, there is a problem here. This will not work. Why this will not work? Any idea? Because it should work actually. Wait. 8090 HTTPS. So Argo CD is working on 8090, right? Let me check. Argo CD default port. So you can access all this playground. 443. No, Argo CD is running 443. So it should take HTTPS 443. So yeah, it should take this IP address 31714. Okay, one more thing, I need to check my security group, so that is another challenge. And let me check. So only 3 is allowed. So I am allowing one more port. What was that? 31714. Okay, so add rule custom port from anywhere, save it, and now it's not coming. Okay, so this I'll check later. Right now that's not required for time being. Okay, so let's move on. So we got this one, Argo CD, and now if you want to have Argo CD password and all UI, this is the command for it. So we'll try this one offline because this is something is network or setup issues. Okay, so kubectl and deployed, that is okay. Now we need to do we need to sync the Argo CD applications for deploy KF apps. So how do we do that? So this command you can run this. So clear the screen and finally this. Okay, So name is a secret name, Argo CD, port forward updated, prompting, everything seems to be good. Sometimes this need to be pruned to delete as part of it. Always prune, I'm just doing. Enter. A. So it might take 5 minutes. So have to wait for it and so on. Just wait for it. It's deploying. Meanwhile, how do we access? So there's so many ways you can access this dashboard. So deploy KF dashboard is the web-based interface data. All public deploy services, including dashboards, are accessed by a deploy KF Istio gateway. To use a gateway, we'll need to expose to the Kubernetes service. For this quick start, we'll need port forward feature for kubectl because we don't have a service. We would require port forward services to expose the gateway to locally on your machines. But if you don't want to locally on a machine, if you're running on a
Mm-hmm.
remote machine, then you have to do this one. So this is something which I was talking about. You can do something similar
Okay.
to
Okay, with the
port
zero
forward.
point zero point zero point zero, we can publicly expose from a local server. That is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in remote machine, then you can expose this one. So this you can do that. So right now I'll do this one for the Kubeflow. So step number 1, first thing you have to update host file. Just give me a few minutes, let it complete this one, and then we'll do that. So right now I'm running on the remote machine. If you have a local machine, then you can do faster. Okay, but right now I'm running in a remote machine. So for that, you have to do, if you're running in this quick start on the remote server or cloud instance rather than local machine, you'll have to do something different steps. This is what I was talking about. If you have a direct network access remote server, which I'm having, make sure you do this one. So add this IP address to your host file. So this is the first step. So this is your IP address, and this is a domain. So this is Argo server, Minio, and all. So what is the IP address? My IP address is my IP address is this one. So I will put this. Now I'll go to my Windows C drive. Forgot the location. Windows System 32. Windows System 32 and drivers, and remember this path, and Microsoft. I forgot, to be honest. Let me search for Google. Windows host file locations. Drivers etc host, etc, this file. So etc go to that location and open this file with some editor, whichever you like. And now I am going to, you have to do admin mode, you have to modify. And now I'm going to add this IP address. Done. Now if you access this one, it will redirect to this one. Remember that, that's a fundamental. So I did this while configurations. Let me check. So seems like it's doing still. Status is out of sync. This is the Argo CD deployment. It might take 10 minutes up to. Out of sync, missing. So out of sync, this will take some time to deploy. And let me open up a new. It seems it's doing that. You can also, in another window, you can check whether you have a sufficient resources or not, because you know what, I was having only 8 GB RAM. So, and so far so good, it's healthy. Okay, so I did this in my local machine, not on the remote machine, and now run this one. So you have to wait for it. Uh, uh, just wait for it, and then we will do this. Okay, so this is the one. After that, you can install, you can access through deploy. So this is something you are exposing all the namespace, address, this all stuff. Now you know what, something similar concept you can do with Argo CD also. How can you do that? So for that, namespace is Argo CD, address svc is Argo CD server. Done. And 8843 https, this is not required. And let me run in another one, other server. It will take some time, so ctl get nodes, working fine, enter. On the spelling mistake, enter, done. And now I can access 8443 Argo CD. If you want to see that visually, 8443, hopefully it should be accessible. And still waiting. 8443 https, everything seems to be okay. Still loading. I'll check one more time. IP address 49 seems to be okay. And meanwhile I'll just read one more time. 3 in group. Yeah, this is the different method. This is the another method. Can you expose this one in remote server and access? Not accessible. I have to check for more parameters. Okay, so I have to check. Okay. I cannot access this one. Why? Because I have blocked. I'll do one thing for a few minutes. I will. This is a worst practice, but let me do that because I don't want to struggle for this. All traffic and save it. Everything I open up and refresh. Done. So this is your Argo CD. And one thing which I want to get it, so you can get the username ADMIN. Password for that, you have one command which you can run to get the password, and that is this command. Okay, so this command is very popular. Oh, I have to duplicate the session. Don't close it, else this one will not happen. Forwarding will not happen. Okay, so enter, and the password is this one. Copy this password and feed that here and sign in. Now visually you can see the progress. So now how many applications it's been deployed through that command. See here, only one healthy, one synced. This is healthy, synced. This is missing, so this is doing. If you see syncing, it might take a little bit more time because my CPU and RAM is limited. So you will see a little bit. This is synced. This is out of sync. This is synced. This is synced. This is synced. Let me see that. It may take 5 minutes more, I guess, and so on. So now, did you understand this?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So just wait for it, and this first one still is deploying, out of sync missing. So it might take 5 more minutes, and then till it's get deploy everything, you can refresh and sync app again. It will take more time, so I don't want to do that. Here I want to sort it out which is not synced. So what to do? Let me show you 20. The filter should be somewhere out of sync. Yeah, here. And refresh all. It's becoming slow. Let me check the CPU and RAM. So now v -h. It's okay so far. I'm just wondering, it should not stuck due to resource constraint. It's taking little time. And yeah, I think it's closer. Let me pause the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what I found out, still the deployment is little slow, even waiting for 10 minutes or something. So getting synced fully. So I will not wait for it till it get completed all, and I see that dashboard got synced. So at least I can try accessing the dashboard and so on. So what I'll do, because I have used the Argo CD for these two ports already, I have to change this one. And for that, what I'm going to do, this one 81, 84, one I increased it. Hopefully it should be okay. And enter. Done. Now I'm going to try 844 in the IP address, right? And here, and 844. 4 and still empty response. So seems like deployment is still going on. Let me read the document. So I did this one. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll just close this for time being, and I will. Maybe the port conflict might be happening. So enter. Okay, so 8443. Let me try now. And yep. Oh, this is still running. 8443. I think it's cache. Let me open up in this. Wait, did I make a mistake? Ah, again I copied wrong thing. That was my bad. Wrong thing. Wrong. Sorry. So I'm going to run this, and this is the deploy kf. I copied mistake. Enter. Enter. Okay, so now 8443. So empty response. So right now that is not synced, so I have to wait for a little bit more time. And 8080 also I'll try and see. So this typically should be this one. Let me try with the domain also. I set it up already. It's taken. Domain has taken. Okay, so IP address not domain, and now this is something which you have to do that. So now the dashboard is accessible and you can now log in. So log in using the credentials. So how do we get it? So you can get it in the YAML file. So I'm going to credential here. This YAML file, there's one YAML file which is a deployment. You get it, but this is the username and username admin you'll have here. Let me log into admin, that will be better. Admin and password is this one, and this is your Kubeflow, and this is where we have to work. So now this will become a platform for everyone who is it's like this. I'll put it in this way. It's like, if you remember, Jenkins or GitLab has become a platform for all the software developments. Now this will become a platform for all the MLOps development. Are you getting it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so one more sessions we'll have to take it up on Kubeflow, and in that I'll talk about what can you do with a notepad, some simple programs. Right now it's not deployed, that's the reason you have no as such things. TensorBoard, I think still pending. Volumes, not. Katib, I saw it's pending. Yeah, pipeline pending. Argo CD server is not pending because I saw that it got deployed. Menu console, I think it's loading. I think it got deployed. Menu, yeah. So some of these got deployed, some of them still waiting. You can check the status here. Go to the applications. What happened? Oh, okay, I disabled the port forwarding. So yeah, that was the problem. So yeah, you can check this out and then get or going. Okay, so any questions so far?
No.
Okay, one more thing.
Um,
So before getting sync, if you get something like this, if that error you get something like that and things is not completed, don't worry, you can rerun the command one more time and there is no issues running one more time for it. It might take some time, but
okay.
it will be okay. Yeah, question? Any questions?